I appreciate all those guys I grew up playing with because I feel like they're the
Big
reason why.
personalities. Speak your minds as you should.
And positive role models in my life. I didn't have good ones.
Lex,
Mr. Cool.
many people may not know, but sometimes I call you the OG, right? And for some people, they may not understand, but that's the original. That's the original gangster. And I say that endearingly and lovingly because my first entry into the NIL space, and it's going back now, what was that, December of 2021? Or was it 22? I don't remember. But it's been about a year and a half, almost, year and a half, December.
Since we met at Starbucks.
And you were my first athlete anywhere that I signed. When I got into the business, I had learned about you. I had met with Coach Mulkey. I met with Jennifer and just asked about players in general. And there was a little sparkle in their eye when they talked about you. And there was a caring and a respect that they had for you and looked into you and your story. And it captivated me. And I think I told you I love redemption and second chances.
Yes.
And that's where I wanted to start. So it started with you in that time, and from there it's expanded out to football players and baseball players and track stars and all through colleges across the state. But you were the fountainhead. You were the original. So what do you think about that you're looking across and now all these other people are being signed? You may have, I think you were literally the first NIL athlete at LSU and one of the first in the state of Louisiana. What do you think about that?
I didn't know I was the first ever, but man, that's remarkable. Am I going to go down in history or something? But I just want to thank you, Mr. G, Mr. Cool, for giving me the opportunity, and I'll never forget what you told me at Starbucks. Take advantage of my second chances.
Yeah.
And I think when you gave me the opportunity and Coach Mulkey, we're witnessing me you're witnessing me maximize people believing in me.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that.
I believed in you then, I believe in you now, and I believe in your future. I think it'll be great. And as President Tate was saying last night, I wasn't expecting
I'm the best
that,
PG no. Right?
Holy cow. For the fans who didn't see that, if you can go back and watch the ceremony and the PMAC and all the speakers, and Lex spoke, and she did a great job, but the president of the university went off the rails. He was just something.
Oh, man, he had been holding it in. You could tell he had just been holding it in. It was so passionate and intense.
But he emphatically laid down, I think a lot of people would agree with it, who the best point guard
in the country
college basketball is, and it was you. And he was strong about it, just like he was strong about many things.
Well, President Tate, he's been, encouraging me all season long. So after games, I wasn't having great scoring moments. He would always come up to me and let me know there's other elements. Yeah, absolutely.
That's interesting.
After every game.
Yeah, I wouldn't think many presidents of a university would be reaching out to a women basketball player after an off game.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
No,
good for him.
Yes, absolutely. And after almost every game, he lets me know, you did awesome tonight. You may have not had a great scoring night or a great shooting night, but it was other areas of the game that you impacted.
Right.
Whether it was just leadership or assisting and facilitating, running the team, or just me executing.
Yeah.
He's a pretty amazing guy. You are too, G.
Oh, well, you're very kind. I wouldn't put myself in his category. I know him some. I want to get to know him better. And after witnessing last night, and he brought it in the end to God, and I was just riveted by that the president of a public university like that would talk about God wrapping up his speech. So I thought that was wonderful, and I plan to get to know him better.
Yeah. I think you would like connecting with him.
People may not know a lot about you, other than we'll get to the nickname and stuff in a little while. But watching you play on court. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you were born in Beaumont, Texas.
Yes.
And tell us about that. Tell us about your childhood, and tell us about good, bad things, whatever you want to talk about. And then I know y'all won a 3A state championship, right? You averaged 31 points in high school, but just kind of tell everybody about that.
Where do I start? I've been playing basketball my whole life. I actually started off playing with guys. I started off in a little league, playing in the YMCA in Beaumont, Texas, all the way up until the 6th grade. When I was in the 6th grade, my middle school, Oldham Academy, told me I couldn't play with guys anymore because that was the end of co-ed sports. And I appreciate all those guys I grew up playing with because I feel like they're the reason why I'm tough today, and my game kind of looks different from most girls.
You sound like Coach Mulkey a little bit. Kim talks about how much she played with guys growing up.
Did she?
Oh, yeah. They same thing. They eventually kicked her off the guys, and she couldn't do it anymore. But all through her formative junior high, both baseball and basketball, play with guys.
Wow. Yeah. See, I knew me and Coach Mulkey had
a lot
of things in common. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I grew up, a lot of people think I grew up playing in these nice arenas, but I actually learned how to play basketball playing outside in my neighborhood barefoot.
Right.
Yeah, not that I didn't.
In
Beaumont, Texas. I grew up playing outside a lot. Just running around the neighborhood, playing different guys in the neighborhood. And I give a lot of credit to those moments because it kind of just made me gritty, feisty, and relentless. Because when guys like to play against girls, they immediately think, oh, she can't compete with us.
That's right.
It reminds me of have you ever watched Love and Basketball?
Oh.
The moment when he pushed Monica down? That's kind of how I grew up playing. And my dad used to push me down a lot, too, when I was a kid. Just to make me tough, and to let me know I can compete with anybody. And I've grown up with that competitive spirit.
Yep.
And in middle school, I think I want to, kind of show off a little bit. Just a little bit because it's not my personality, but I'm going to do it.
All right.
Middle school, I scored 71 points.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, at Odom Academy, you can look this up.
71 points.
71 points.
Have you talked to your teammates? Is that the most anybody scored in the game? Has anybody outscored you?
No, that's the most that's ever been scored in Beaumont. That's the most. But, leading up from middle school to high school, went to a private school in Beaumont, Legacy Christian Academy,
right.
3A school, small school. I don't know, Legacy was a different experience. My mom wanted to send me to Legacy so that I can get some diversity in my life, so I can get a different perspective of the world, and be around different people, different types of people, just so I can expand my horizon. So she sent me to private school.
Did you like that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely prepared me for college.
Yep.
It was a nice little prep for college.
Yep. Were you a good student through school?
Absolutely.
Good student.
Yeah, great student in high school. I think I came out with a 3.6. All my teachers would tell you. The only thing my teachers would probably say about me, G, is since I went to a Christian school, we had to wear skirts on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know about that, right?
I wasn't wearing those skirts on Wednesdays, So I would. That's the only thing they probably would say I was kind of like defiant on. I just wouldn't wear the skirts on Wednesdays. It just wasn't my stilo. But I appreciate all my teachers. My teachers. I'm still really close to one of my teachers to this day. Her name is Miss Missy Richardson.
Right.
And she's in my life daily.
Right.
She's one of my prayer warriors. She prays for you. Oh, absolutely.
You need prayer warriors in life, right?
Oh, what?
You're going to face so many ups and downs, and you need people praying for you.
Gordon.
That's awesome.
I don't even think I'm here where I'm at today without people praying for me.
No, probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm surrounded by
that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, in high school, I was going through a lot. My dad had gotten in some trouble, left me when I was my freshman year, left me for 2 years.
That was hard?
Yeah, man, it was tough. One of the toughest moments of my life, hard for me to adjust because when you have an active father in your life, he's been there from 1 to 13.
Right.
And then, things just change all of a sudden. You have to adjust as a kid. And then my grandfather had passed away. And, all those moments have shaped me into who I am today.
Right.
Bad and good.
Right.
But I remember my junior year, I lost my grandfather in the game.
During the game?
During the game, while I was in the semifinals. No, I'm lying. I was in the quarterfinals, headed to the playoffs.
Right.
We won the game. Fourth quarter, in the quarterfinals, I shoot a shot, right? This is around the time my grandfather's fighting cancer, 4th stage lung cancer.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, the doctors had told us he's not going to make it, right? He has very little time to live. I shoot. It's 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. I'll never forget this moment. I made the shot. We were winning. I was about to go to the playoffs, and I couldn't just celebrate the moment.
Right.
Everybody's excited. All of a sudden, I feel something leave me.
Really?
Like, feeling in my body just, dropped.
Right.
right after the game, right? It's a minute left. My mom comes in the locker room. I already knew what it was.
You did.
I felt it in the game. I literally felt my grandfather's presence leave me. And it's been a very emotional, part of my journey, but it has shaped me into who I am today. I remember everything he's taught me since a kid. Be respectful.
Yep.
Use your manners. Be nice to people. He was one of the sweetest guys and a great role model in my life since I was a kid. Absolutely. So I just want to give a little props to my grandfather, Pops. I know he's really super proud of me right now.
Yep, he would be.
No, absolutely. My grandmother's really proud of me. They were key into my upbringing, and they were just really important figures in my life and positive role models in my life. I didn't really have many, but they were the ones,
Your
who I had.
grandparents and your dad.
Yeah. And my mom, they were really huge factors in shaping me into a person and a player. So yeah, I want to give props to them because
So was that the year y'all won the championship when he died?
No, I lost my junior year.
Okay.
I lost in the finals. I actually lost in the finals game by 6 points.
Okay. Came back and won it your senior year.
Came back and won in my senior year, baby.
Okay. And you're one of the top players at that time.
Coming out of high school.
Out of high school.
I believe, I don't want to brag on myself, but I believe I was number 6 coming out in the nation.
That's what I read.
I think I was number 6 in the nation.
That's what I read.
Yeah.
So you were looking at different schools to go to. Who were your top 3, 4 when you were going through the process?
Gordon, I never took an official visit.
Really?
I barely talked to any other schools because I was so loyal to Coach Mulkey.
Okay.
She had been recruiting me since I was 12.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get to know her?
Okay, so at the time she had a recruiting coach named, his name was Damian McKinney.
Right.
He called my mom one day. I was in the 7th grade, and my mom would never let me talk to him because this was new for us. I'm the first kid that she's ever had recruited by colleges, so she don't even know what to expect. So she would talk to this guy named Damian McKinney, and Damian had offered me in the 8th grade.
Right. Wow. 8th grade.
Yeah, I got my first offer from Baylor in the 8th grade. And no, I didn't take it. I didn't verbally commit. But that's something that stuck with me because they were the first. Right. You leave your mark when you're the first.
You are. I agree.
Yeah, when you're the first, then, it's like, dang, that stuck with me forever. And that's how it started. Like he just
there, and then she kept up with you the whole time.
She kept up. That's what Coach Mulkey is good at. She's going to stay in contact. She's going to let you know that she wants you. Okay. She's going to get to try to know you as a person. She's going to want to interact with your family.
Right.
And that's what stuck with me.
Yeah, she's real.
No, she's real.
Yeah, people
brutally honest.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters on her, and we talked about that last night at dinner. She and I.
Well, you ain't doing something right if you don't got no haters.
I mean, you're going to, and since I started, partnering with you guys and with her and watching it all unfold, you really do see the people that are out to attack her and her program. And it's all these agendas that they have. That's why I was just, because I read everything now I can on you guys, right? There's an article I'm reading. I'm just reading her and reading all of y'all, following it. And it opened my eyes this year to how much of I don't want to say it's a double standard, but there's definitely an agenda against her and her team and you guys now. I mean, and y'all are big personalities and
big personalities.
Yeah, big personalities and speak your minds as you should. And it was just interesting to watch all that unfold this year. But y'all handled it with the class, and I thought did a great job. We'll talk some more about that.
Yeah.
So it was basically a one-team recruiting process for you. It was just Coach Mulkey.
Yeah.
You were always going there. And
but look, there was a kicker. I committed to UCLA my senior year.
Well, what caused that? Why would you do that?
Why you start laughing?
I mean,
because, my mom, she had loved the UCLA staff.
Okay.
And my mom was the main one who was there for me during the process. Remember I told you my dad had,
got in some trouble.
Yeah, got in some trouble, made some mistakes. But he came back and, still an amazing father. I would never take that from him. But my mom talking to me through the process. I love these people. Right. They're going to be great for you. Right. I didn't make a decision for myself. I committed to UCLA because it's what my mom wanted. So I cried all night. I called Coach Mulkey crying. She'll tell you. And I appreciate her response because the first thing she said was, well, baby, if you want to go to UCLA, then you go to LSU. I got LSU because I'm a Tiger, baby.
You go to UCLA.
Yeah. If you want to go to UCLA, then I'm 100% in support. I support you. But this is where she got me. Because I'm thinking she's not going to want me no more. I just committed to UCLA. But if you ever want to come home,
Good for her.
if you ever want to come home, you're welcome. Like, with open arms. I'm not going to hold nothing against you. And that's when I knew.
Yep.
I was going to Baylor. I was going to Baylor. I literally decommitted from UCLA the next day.
Yeah, she cared for you.
Yeah, that's
and
what I did.
So you ended up going to Baylor your freshman year.
Had an outstanding freshman year.
Yep, had a good freshman year.
Had a great freshman year, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Got a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of tough love, a lot of adjusting. You know, Coach Mulkey, she's a tough coach to play for, but I appreciate every minute of it.
Right.
Because it develops you.
Yeah.
To a person, teaches you a lot of life lessons. So, yeah, I had an amazing freshman year. Coach Mulkey, she let me ball. She let me play. Yeah. She ain't hold me back.
No, she doesn't. She will let y'all
Yeah,
go.
she's going to let you play, but you're also going to be coachable, too. And you're going to, you know, when it come down to it, if she wants something to be executed, you need to make sure it gets done. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the way she runs her practices, and she's remarkable in how efficient, how much she's coaching, and how she's moving y'all through the whole process. Really, really fascinating to watch. And so you did that, and then you had a little right turn in your college career, right?
Yeah.
Got into a little trouble, right?
I had some trouble. I did.
Were you kind of just young and immature and being foolish at that time?
Definitely, totally youthful. Youthful mistakes. Yeah.
The Coach Mulkey had to visit with you about leaving the team. Mm-hmm. How was that conversation?
I was scared to death. You know, I'm young.
Was it emotional between y'all during that conversation? Or
No, she was upset. Let's be honest. Disappointed.
Yeah.
She was expecting me to be her starting point guard the next year. And when you kind of like build a program, you're recruiting players to play around a piece, then it kind of like makes the puzzle crumble away. You know, it shakes it up a little bit.
Guard,
then you know, like I already have chemistry with the players that's there, so it was kind of, you know, it was tough. And I can think now from a coach's perspective of things, like why she was so upset.
Right.
And also, she just genuinely cared for me as like a person.
Right.
I didn't understand it at the time because I didn't understand tough love, G.
Right.
I didn't know, you know, I didn't know.
She had to give you a little tough love.
Yeah, she had to give me a little tough love, and I didn't understand it at the time. So it was just like, the meeting was, you know, Lex, you know, I love you. You know, I gotta dismiss you from the team for the team purposes, because I don't want this to be a distraction. You know, some of your teammates may feel like, well, if she can do it, then, you know, I can start getting away with things.
Were you mad at her at that time and thought she was treating you unfairly, or were you like, no, she's...
I didn't think it was unfair treatment, but was I upset? Of course. Like, nobody wants to get kicked off the team. And then I'm a high-profile athlete. You know, it's going to break headlines. It's going to make all the headlines. So that was just something, I was upset at her blaming everybody. But, you know, it needed to happen. Okay. And I'm thankful for that experience. I was talking to someone the other day, and they asked me, you know, if you could change anything about your journey, would you change anything? I said, no, I would mess up again. Yep. I would mess up again.
So you left there and went to Rutgers.
Yes.
Had to sit out a year or so, right?
Mm-hmm. Set out.
Yeah. Then
injured.
Played the next year.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, but you played a season for Rutgers.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's right. You got injured.
Played 7 games.
That's right.
Averaged, I don't know, 7 games. I averaged 27 minutes.
Were you unhappy with your experience there?
Absolutely. And nothing to discredit those people up there. You know, I appreciate all of my experiences. It just wasn't for me.
Okay.
It was just a checkpoint into where I needed to, you know, just a stop in my destination and where I needed to go. I had to learn something from each each stop point.
Right.
You know, from Rutgers and A&M.
A&M.
Yeah, when I was at Rutgers, I just got injured. It just wasn't. I was on the East Coast by myself,
Right.
G. Had to grow up really fast. Couldn't call mom to come bring me a plate of food or,
Right.
to come baby me. So I had to grow up when I was at Rutgers.
Started that process, right?
Yeah, just, kind of be independent, stop codependent on others. So that's what I take from my Rutgers experience. Had to grow up, become a woman.
Went to A&M. How was that experience?
And it was probably the most disheartening experience for me because I had came home as in Texas, came back to Texas.
Right.
I was familiar with the Texas A&M staff, so I had different expectations of them when I went there. I'm gonna always bet on myself. I feel like I was the best point guard at Texas A&M.
Right.
Period.
Right.
You heard President Tate last night, the best point guard in the country.
He said it loud and hard, let me tell you, he did.
So, my experience at Texas A&M just wasn't
What you were thinking.
what I was
you
expecting,
desired,
what I desired. Yeah, I was like, this is gonna be my comeback year. I was just waiting on that moment to come back, and get my name back on the map.
Right. Right.
Because everybody's like, what's going on with Alexis Morris?
Right.
I'm reading this stuff on social media. People are asking me what's going on everywhere I go. So that was what I learned from that situation is be a good teammate. Don't have any expectations in life.
Right.
Because I was definitely let down, totally let down.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just checking my notes. 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist at Texas. It wasn't a great year for you, right? Not the best. And then you're like, okay, I want out of here. Just say it for me. I'm better than this. I can do more. I want to showcase my skills. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting the playing time. What did I come? I didn't come to Texas A&M to sit on the bench, right?
No.
I worked my butt off in summer. I worked my butt off in practice.
Yep.
Just to average 3-4 minutes a game.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how I was being utilized. I feel like I was just being used for clutch moments.
Right.
It's probably where I developed the clutch gene.
Yeah.
So when I was at Texas A&M, I would be put in those hot situations, and I would come right back out and not play, right? So.
And from there, jumped over to LSU. Coach Mulkey's there, her first season. And what was that like going back home, so to speak, with her to start working with her? How had y'all both changed, if at all, during that time?
Extremely confident in that decision. I was extremely confident. I had no doubt in my mind that I would get the opportunity, earn the opportunity to be back where I wanted to be as a player.
Right.
What was the second part? What did you just ask me about, Coach?
Did either of y'all change in the 2-3 years y'all were apart?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you looked at her, how was she different, if at all, and how were you different? Yeah, obviously, you're going to be more mature.
Yeah.
You learned and
Yeah.
grew as a woman at Rutgers.
Mm-hmm. Coach Mulkey, like when my freshman year, she was so much more like strict and like stern.
Right.
And she was just a tougher coach to play for.
Right.
But now
She's a little more laid back.
she's way more laid back, way more lenient.
Why do you think that? What's changed?
She has grandkids now.
She does.
She has that softens your heart a little bit. That
Right,
softens
yeah.
you up. It gives you another perspective of life as well.
Right.
And two, like she's Coach Mulkey, she knows how to. She's been in the game for 30 plus years, so she has to evolve with the generation. She's coached many different generations.
She has.
And that's what makes her one of the greatest coaches of all time. She knows that this generation is different,
Well,
so she has to
Right.
evolve and kind of like step towards the generation, because it's kind of hard to get this generation to step towards like the old school style type
I
coaching.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's really
for sure
different.
It is. You see that in football. Nick Saban, he used to be really hard and stern.
Oh, right.
You're seeing him soften in how he approaches, and I think a lot of coaches have to do that.
Yeah.
Even the pro coaches in different sports.
Yeah.
All right, so you got back to campus, and you've been here now 2 years.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the run and everything, but continuing forward, you declared for the WNBA.
Yes.
I saw it on your social media post. Very, very nicely done.
Thank you.
Getting a lot of love.
Appreciate it.
So for people out there who don't know, so now you're planning to go in the draft and play. What will you do the next few months to prepare? What's that going to look like for you?
It's going to be more mental than physical.
Have you received feedback from the professional scouts, coaches, others who say, this is what we want you to work on? You know, you're going to come up to this level. This is what you need to improve. What do they tell you?
Yes. Earlier in the year, we had a scout come to practice. Watched me the whole practice. First thing he told me was, you're going to have to work on your leadership, your vocal leadership. He said it's not about your actions. I think you're great.
Right.
You lead by example. I applaud you on it. But as a point guard and as an undersized point guard, you're going to have to be vocal.
How tall are you? Tell her.
I'm the biggest.
Let's be truthful. How tall are you now?
6.5.
5'6" and a half. We'll go with 5'6" and a half. All right, what do you weigh?
I'm 135.
130. That's all that muscle.
Yeah, it's all that lean muscle right there.
Muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah,
that's why
it's that lean muscle.
135.
You don't want to run into this brick wall.
She weigh 135, man.
You don't want to run into this brick wall.
No. All right, so I told you your leadership. What else did they tell you?
My shooting, my three-point shooting. I had to improve on my three-point shot.
You agree with both those assessments?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
This year, were you working on both of those things?
Yes. Even though towards the end of the season, I couldn't find my three-point. Were you seeing it?
Left you for a little bit.
Yeah, it left me for a little bit. But, you know, my mid-ranges, I can always count on my bread and butter.
So I love that about you. Growing up playing basketball, you and I were supposed to compete against each other at one time. And, Taylor, we're going to do that, but no video because, you know.
You don't want me to show them up?
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm going to win that no matter what. At least that's what I'm going to tell you.
Well, why we can't record?
But I grew up in Michael Jordan and in that era.
Yes.
And the greatest scorer of all time, arguably, and he made his living on mid-range. You go to the hole and he dunk and all that, but mid-range, where you live, where you in the game, the championship game, and the pick set off, and you're on that left junction, you just kept working that little area. That's where you're trying to get to that little mid-range. And you just got your rhythm in that mid-range, and it was over.
It's sweet, baby. My mid-range is sweet. That's what I train the most, I'll be honest.
You should.
Because I'm 5'6". I know the level I desire to play at.
Right.
So the players are only getting bigger and longer and stronger. Yeah. So I'm not going to get any taller. So I think that's what's going to separate me from a lot of players.
Agreed. Because
the mid-range game is missing.
Yeah.
It's no one wants to shoot the mid-range jumper no more. Everybody wants to shoot
bomb. Shoot the bombs. Right?
Yeah.
So where do you think you'll go? What part of what round? I'm thinking first round, right?
Are you thinking first round?
I'm thinking your first round.
You know, Gordon, I try to always think worst case scenario. So worst case scenario to me would be like late second round. Right. But I actually think I'm going to go first round too.
Yeah, I'm thinking you played your way in that, on the biggest stage and shooting like that and competing like that.
You talk to Coach? What you think she think?
I don't ever talk to Coach.
I wanted to know where she thinks where I'm going to go. I should ask too.
So we're going to come back to the season, but you majored in what? Tell everybody what you majored in, what you want to do outside of basketball.
I'm majoring in interdisciplinary studies, minoring in leadership, sociology, and sports management. When I'm done with basketball, playing my professional career, I want to go to law school.
Okay.
You remember I told you that?
I did.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to law school, and that's what I want to do after I finish playing a few years. Professional, make me some money, save me some money, and then eventually start, give back throughout my pro career. Talk to the youth, throw some charity events, give back, do some speaking events.
Taylor loves this question since you just said talking to you. What would you tell 12-year-old Alexis today if you were talking to yourself? You go back in time and give yourself some advice. And a young woman who's, loves to compete and wants to better herself. But what would you tell that young Alexis?
Give me some time to think about this one.
Okay, you can come back to it if you want to think about it.
No, we don't have to come back. I would tell 12-year-old Alexis, I would just feel confident. Like, I would just build her up. I would tell her, you got this. Don't ever let nobody tell you can't. You got to realize this is around the time my father had left.
Yeah.
So at 12 years old, I was going through a lot of changes.
Right.
You are loved.
I think be confident and you are loved is two great pieces of advice that everybody can cling to in life, right?
That's exactly what I would tell my 12-year. Stay confident, stay the course.
Yeah.
You know, you're loved.
Right.
And to believe in yourself.
Yep.
Period. Like that's what I would tell my younger self.
Yeah. Wise advice from a young lady. So.
Yeah.
All right. So pro career, WNBA, maybe law school after that, giving back and being involved with younger kids. When you're not playing basketball, and you're not training, and you're not sleeping, and all the other stuff athletes have to do, what do you like to do? What interests you? Where are your hobbies and your passions outside of the sport?
Fashion. I love dressing.
You love fashion.
Love fashion. Love dressing.
I don't think anybody else on the team likes dressing or fashion or
seriously?
Anything. I'm joking about that.
I'm one of one.
We could certainly talk about that and how that's evolved and what I think your team and coaches have brought to the table. You know.
I mean, you see Coach Mulkey jackets in her style. It starts with Coach Mulkey.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm into fashion. I love music. Right. I actually feel like I could be an artist coach someday because I have like a natural ear for music.
There you go.
I like to draw. Like,
you're just creative. You like
I'm very creative.
Yeah.
Like I'm really artsy. I actually think the world inside my head is more entertaining and interesting than what's really going on out here, like in the real world. I think a lot of people don't know that, but I'm really kind of introverted.
Oh, I know that about you.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah, so.
You mind if I bless it since it's Easter?
Yeah, let's go. Do I
Easter.
mind? Absolutely
just
not.
Make sure. Just be a cooking. Father, thank you for this time and this relationship that we have. Alexis, a wonderful young lady. Pray your blessing on her. Give her wisdom and guidance and mercy and love her whole life. Thank you for your son Christ, especially as we come into Easter weekend. Pray that the gospel would be proclaimed and people would come to know how much you love them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. Wow. So back to the fashion.
To the fashion.
You know, so
thank you.
I've got 3 daughters, right? And I've got a wife, and I'm well aware of fashion because of them. So what do you think sometimes when you see Coach Mulkey walk out, or you see her for the first time and she's wearing something, and you're like, is she really wearing that? Or what? I mean, what does the team think when they're watching all of that?
So most of the time we're just sitting waiting on her to come talk to us before the game. We're all in there like trying to guess, like, what is Coach wearing today?
Y'all are excited about it.
Yeah, we're super excited.
It's a big deal, right?
It's definitely a big deal, right? Uh-huh. And she knows she's gonna get 2 reactions. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, Coach, yeah, you look good, you rocking it today. Or it's gonna be a,
So,
Coach, we not liking this one today, Coach.
Tell me some examples of the ones that y'all thought she rocked, and give some examples of like, man, Coach, you missed on that one.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite. I feel like I'm gonna say my favorite. My favorite was the pink, pink jacket with the feathers.
Oh, the feathers. You wore that recently, right?
Yeah. I like that. It was dramatic. It was cute. You know, she was rocking it. Mm-hmm. And then my second favorite, I don't know. I really love pink. I love pink. Pink's one of my favorite colors. She had the pink with the flowers. And then her and her grandchild was matching. Her granddaughter were matching. You seen it?
Cute?
Yeah, that was the cutest thing ever, right?
That was smart. That was great.
Let me tell you which one I didn't like.
Okay.
The polka dots. Not a fan of the polka dots.
Black and white, black polka dot?
I wasn't a fan of that one.
Wasn't a fan of that?
No, I wasn't a fan of that one. Gordon, were you a fan of that one? You don't want to say.
It caught my attention. I was like, okay, I've never seen it before.
I wasn't a fan of that one. No.
Mm-hmm. Her fashion statements have kind of taken the country by storm.
She goes viral, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, not only her, but your story, Bayou Barbie, you know, kind of rapper Flage, all that just transcending the sport, right? And people are talking about y'all and watching y'all. not just for your basketball, but to see everything else that's going around with it. Of course, they're watching now your basketball. What does that make you and your teammates feel like when you know that thousands and millions, 10 million plus people watching what y'all do and say?
Well, we have influence. We're influencing the culture, the younger kids. We're making history. You know, we just had 9.9 million people watch our game.
10 million people, yeah.
You can't tell me those people weren't looking for our social media platforms after the game, right?
Y'all, your tickets, the women's ticket to the Final Four, were costing more money than the men's tickets to the Final Four.
Probably first time ever in history.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? So just for us to be a part of that history, we talk amongst each other, and we're like in disbelief. We're like, bro, can y'all believe like the attention and the recognition that women's basketball is getting now?
It's crazy.
You know, we try to stay humble, but we applaud ourselves. Like, we played a major role. We played a huge role. We worked hard. This is just our hard work paying off.
Hard.
You know? Oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know, I've been in college for a long time. So if I would have never got dismissed from Baylor, I would have never been able to experience this era, this NIL era, and you know, the evolution of where women's basketball is going. So I'm just happy to be a part of the start. I can't wait to see like it just grow, where it goes and how it elevates,
So, when did you think this team this year? I think we could win all of it. I think we're headed there. When was it? Angel, I saw the other day, talked about maybe during the summer, and you had some great pickup games and all that. But when did it clue in for you that we got something special?
Knew we had potential in the summer. I'm going to agree with Angel.
Right.
We were just like, you know, when you can have fun off the court, that's going to be a key piece to your success. When everybody likes each other off the court, that's like a plus to a team. And we all can just laugh and joke and have fun and, you know, talk crap to each other on the court. And when we leave the court, it's all over with. Like, that was always a plus for us.
Okay, good.
So I knew in the summertime we had potential, but when I just like kind of got real confident with it, with knowing that we could be a Final Four team, and it's going to be crazy, it's going to blow your mind. After we lost to South Carolina.
I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
Because y'all got beat.
What?
You got beat.
It's embarrassing, but it's fine. But there were moments in that game. This is the number one team in the country, right? There's only very few teams that can get the lead to like 3 points. They can get that close. We got it within like 3 points. And then when we go back and watch the game and we break down film, most of my teammates have never played on that stage before.
Right.
Inexperienced.
Right.
They're 4 or 5 seniors on South Carolina.
Right.
Okay. So this is a good preparation for the Final Four, for the stage being set in the Final Four.
Yep. That was a big team. I mean, that's some big girls.
Those are some big girls. They are nice physique. Yeah, big, strong. So let's just start with being stage frightened. I think they played a key part. Yeah, I truly, honestly think they played a huge part in our performance. Because me being a senior, I played on stages like that.
Right.
You know? So I'm watching, I'm looking at people's body language. You can always tell in people's eyes if they're ready to go, or if they're nervous. A lot of my teammates were just nervous at the time. Yeah, just nervous at the time, never played in that atmosphere. Let's just go with stage fright. And 2, let's just go with physicality. Like you said, they were just bigger and stronger. So we knew we had some things to work on. So after the South Carolina game, it brought us together. We had to come amongst each other. Like, I just started seeing, like, us hold each other accountable and, like, us start leading each other. And that just kind of fueled, like, our will to win. Like, we're not losing no more. Not like this. Like, you know, we're too talented. Like, we know what we got. You know, we ever see them again, it's going to be tough, but we can compete. Like, we got it within 5 and 3 and 3. We just didn't capitalize during those moments. And, you know.
How surprised were you that Iowa beat them?
I wasn't surprised.
You weren't surprised?
I wasn't surprised. And people were surprised because they were the number one team at that time. I wasn't surprised because when I played them, it was hard for them to stop me, and I don't have nearly the 3-point shot that Caitlin Clark has.
Yeah,
So you know what I'm saying? So I knew if she could get her shot off, get those threes off early, then it would open up everything for the style of play that Iowa plays. That's tough.
So I think Steph Curry's influence is showing up in the women's
Yeah,
game.
it is.
I mean, Steph Curry, you saw her, the range? I mean, you had to guard her. Of course you saw her.
The range, but did you see her release, how
Yeah.
fast?
Oh, it is.
Oh, the release is so
And
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
She's fast, too.
She was easier to guard off the dribble. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like, off the dribble.
When she comes off that pick.
Oh, yes, it's just tough, man.
And she knows how to run off. There's a way to run off of a pick.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know. She
It's
knows how to-
angles.
Yeah.
Her angles.
And
Her
she
angles.
knows how to run.
Yes. Okay, you
She
played a
does.
little
Oh, I
bit.
played ball.
Yeah, you played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was remarkable to watch, and thought you did a great job on her. And one thing being at the game and watching, they use their elbows and their arms very well. They know the little push and the pull and the hook.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah.
And I thought Kim did a good job working the refs.
Working the refs, yeah.
To let them, because they were calling it first, and then all of a sudden, Kim started going and going. They wouldn't call it, and then all of a sudden they started calling.
Well, I told Coach Mulkey, and I'm not to say I, influenced her to say anything. I'm like, Coach, look at the foul count right now.
Mm-hmm.
I had to put it in her mouth. Coach, look at the foul count.
It was bad. It was way out of whack.
Yeah,
First.
Coach, look at the foul count right now. You got 3 starters sitting on the bench. That hasn't happened all year. 3 starters, especially me, G.
Yeah.
Me fouling out in the first half, foul trouble in the first. That hasn't happened all year.
Great.
So I told Coach Mulkey, we got to start working the refs, Coach.
Yep.
Their coach is talking to the refs every play down the game, Coach.
them.
Yeah, she got it for us, man. And I want to give credit to my teammate, Paul. Paul played some outstanding defense on Clark.
Yep.
She got her those 2 early fouls.
Thank
And
you.
I think that also kind of, frustrated her down the line.
Yeah.
You can't really play how you want to play when you got those fouls against you.
I do want to talk more about the game, but I want to go back to something. Mm-hmm. You talked about you're more introverted, and then they got by you, Barbie.
By you, Barbie,
There
baby.
ain't nothing introverted about her, Angel. Did you know her before this year?
I did not know Angel before she came to LSU.
First time you're meeting her and you're playing a pickup game, getting ready. I'm assuming she's the same way in a pickup game, playing on a Saturday afternoon as she is during the game, just full energy, all going, all the time.
Oh, this Angel is Angel. It doesn't matter.
So what do you think of the first time you're watching her play, and she's probably playing pretty well in that pickup game, and she's just going and she's, talking and she's getting after people? What were you thinking?
I said, first thing I told the coaches, whatever we do, we got to keep Angel. Angel needs to stay at LSU.
Yeah.
We got something special here. Like I said, I've been in college for a long time.
Right.
I have never played with a 4-player like Angel.
Yeah.
And I've played with some great ones.
Uh-huh.
I said, Coach, we got something special. We can do something special this year. This is just me evaluating Angel now. I'm not talking about everybody else around us. This is just me saying, we got Angel, right? So I'm like, we got Angel, we can go somewhere. With me and Angel, we can go somewhere. Because we speak the same language on the court. I'm quiet off the court, but on the court, we speak the exact same language.
They were intense.
We are intense.
Yeah.
And
she's just outwardly intense with her actions and her talk and her mannerisms. But your intensity is just, you can almost see it come through you. It's there.
Yeah, when I play, it just comes out. Like, this is our competitive spirit.
So a lot of times the camera will show her and she's coming up to you and she's just right in your face and she's just, what would she be saying to you?
Most of the time, it's just her motivating me because, when my shot isn't falling or something not going well, I'll get down on myself.
Yeah,
and Angel's not that type of player. She's like, I don't care how the game's going, I'm going to keep shooting, I'm going to keep playing. And she's perfect for me because sometimes I need to hear from a teammate instead of, Coach Mulkey's going to be Coach Mulkey. She's going to motivate you, she's going to get on you. And, sometimes I just need to hear from a teammate. And Angel does a really great job at, keeping me motivated, keeping my confidence where it needs to be, and vice versa. Like, I can talk to Angel about anything, she can come talk to me, and I think that's the sweetest, thing about our
what's
relationship.
your assessment interpretation of probably the 2 most memorable acts during the college basketball season, right? There's the block with the shoe in a hand, right? Which was, because I was sitting on the goal with that one. I said, did I just see what happened? And then, the trash talk afterward, right?
Yeah.
Which was monumental. And then there's obviously the, with the point. So you're sitting out there on the court and you're watching this. So talk to me you're just another teammate player, but you're watching this. What are you thinking? I called I called Angel after the block. Like, what'd you say? Okay, actually, coach is mad at him. Well, not really, but
What do I say? I don't say nothing. I'm actually hyping her up. I'm telling her, do it again. Like,
are you like, did that just really happen?
I do be surprised because I've just never had a teammate that's just that open, like that's that expressive on the court.
Yeah, that's
and
what
she's
I'm saying.
unapologetic about it.
Unapologetic.
And like I think that's the beauty of the art of what she's doing for women's basketball right now, because there's a double standard.
Right.
Men can act like this, but Angel is making it okay for
right.
women's basketball for us to be.
Do a little trash
yeah,
talk?
You know what I'm saying?
They gonna do it.
She makes it. Yeah, she makes it okay. And
Yep.
see me, I like to do my little trash talking on the slick. You'll never just see me, just be so open and expressive about it. But
saying hello to him.
Yeah. You can't guard them. Try again. Like, I do the little
subtle.
Yeah, you might want to get your angles right, or you might want to get lower on your stance. Like I say little things like that. Yeah, you might want to get a hand up next time. Yeah, I say little things like that to people who's guarding me, because the game is 90% mental, 10% physical. So why not play with
All right, so let's then jump to the game. Second half. First half, a lot on the bench. You weren't really in your rhythm. And all of a sudden, second half, late in the second half, and all of a sudden we need a bunch of key buckets, and then you find the mid-range, and then you just start working that mid-range, left, right.
It's that clutch gene. Clutch.
You don't get nervous?
No, never
You're shooting
nervous.
those free throws, and it's just boom, boom, boom,
Never get nervous because I put in so much work behind the scenes, G.
Yeah, but a lot of people put in work behind the scenes, but they get nervous.
It's confidence, and you got to let your confidence exude in those moments. If I miss it, so what? If I make it,
that's right.
You got to live with it. Either way you go, you're going to have to live with it. You're going to have to live with what comes with missing it and what comes with making it. My daddy always told me, if you don't shoot it, you'll never know what your outcome will be. So you just go up there and shoot it like it's another shot. Whatever it is in those moments.
Well, it was remarkable, and a remarkable career, right?
Yeah,
remarkable story. The first ever champion in basketball at LSU, men or women. That's just remarkable when you think about it. And I want to thank you for being the first.
Thank you, G.
Being the OG of the G team, right? It's branched out, and a lot of other high-profile players in different sports, but you were the first, and you set a great example. Love the story of redemption and second chance, especially here at Easter, right? When we talk about the Christ redeeming us from our lost ways, so to speak. So thankful for you. I love you. Can't wait to see what the future holds for you in the WNBA. We're going to be cheering and rooting for you, and just so pleased and happy for you.
Thank you, G. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you for believing in second opportunities.
That always.
Thank you.